What do you think, Griff?
I think we're too late. But I would like to comment, in the various translations of the book, Bible means book. So when you say Bible, you're saying book. And Noah made a boat. I don't know why people call it an ark, but maybe that's King James in 1611. Maybe he came up with the translation to ark. I don't know.
It's amazing how you say that, though, Griff, because you've got the Ark of the Covenant, and then you've got Noah's Ark.
And you have electrical arcs.
And then you have Ark and Spark.
And Arkansas.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of them. The translation on in changes from translation. The interpretation translated on and translated in changes from book to book. I think if it matters, I think it's probably more translated on than in. But who knows? Who knows?
Well, I just want to say that, and I agree with you, because when you stop and think about it, let's say a person has a tattoo. It's on the skin, but technically it's in the skin.
But do you know what a mark was back in those days?
Well, you can look in biblical terms. Now, it's a spiritual mark. God's mark is God's seal.
Right.
And so even though there will be some that are marked with the mark of the beast, we too, by not accepting it, by choosing not to accept it, we too will be marked by the seal of God, which is our faith in God.
Right. It's a covenant. A mark is a covenant. That's what the mark is you're making a covenant between you and either the beast power or you or God. That's what that
Correct.
is. That's what that is. That's what a mark is back in those days. Now you can choose to take the mark, or you can say, "Oh, hell no." And all I can say is Lee, is that I don't know how easy it's going to be to just readily say, "Oh, hell no." You know what I mean? A lot of people are going to be faced with that, and the ability to buy or sell, not having that ability to buy or sell, if you're not set up to be able to totally break out from the world and be totally self-sufficient, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a hard decision,
It's going to be very hard, and I'm glad you brought that up. And I want to ask you one question. I'll let you guys talk about it, and I'll listen. You were just talking about that, and for me, and I think for anyone who is, and you brought up the term Christian the other night, and I like that. For believers, I think it's a better term. For followers,
that's right.
I think the decision can't be put off until then. We must make that decision today, and in fact, we should have already made that decision.
Yes.
And I believe when this Ezekiel war comes, which is the Battle of Gog and Magog, which I believe occurs before the Battle of Armageddon. I believe they're two different battles. And I think we're fixing to face that one. That's when the Bible says that God shall pour His Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. And I believe that Spirit that He pours out will strengthen us to help us endure what is to come. And I guess the question that I wanted to talk about is, I wanted to hear y'all's opinions on why you think that most Americans, who even call themselves Christians, are going to find it so difficult to take a stand and not take that mark when we all claim to be Christians and claim to be. I think it's a lack of faith, but I'd like to hear your all's opinion on it. And I just want to let you know I enjoy your show.
Lee, stay on the line. I want to. Okay. Lee, stay on the line. I want to talk to you a little bit about that while you're here. I've studied that for many, many years, and I've come to conclusions on the mark and what it means and expanding on that. If you look over into, and as a second thought, I want to say to you, if you look over in Genesis 10, you will find the ancestors, the family lines of all of the people mentioned in Ezekiel 38:39. It's over in Genesis 10. Magog, the tribe of Magog, the Togarmah, Gomer, all of those families are over there. And you can go back and get an idea of where the tribes settled and geographically. then you can match it up to existing countries today, Turkey and Germany and Russia, Rosh, a lot of the words that you find in some of the translations. So back to the 666 over in Revelation. Where is that, Lee? 217 Revelation, or somewhere over in Revelation. For those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, it's a number of a man, and his number is 666. Well, Lee, go in your kitchen or pick up something that has a barcode on it. Do you have something near you with a barcode?
Yes, in fact, I've got a Coke bottle. I know what you're talking about, the 3 lines.
Okay. Yeah, the first line, they're guard bars, they call them. The first one is a 6, the middle one is a 6, and the last one is a 6, and that's the format of the typical barcode on everything in the world. They've been working on this 666 now for over 40 years, and everything in the world, every product is required to have a barcode to be able to retail it or wholesale it, and all the information about that product is in the barcode. And at the POS terminal, point of sale terminal in the store, you scan it, you get all of the data for restocking and the product and the code, and then you have to scan the person with his debit number to go into their bank account to transfer the so-called money over to the store. You have to scan the person. On the back of the right hand is the most logical human point to scan. It's convenient. Everybody's got a right hand almost, and those that don't have right hands, they would put the chip or whatever that is in the forehead. Everybody's got to have a forehead, but it's not as convenient to scan as the back of the right hand, you see. So your debit number would go.
Are you saying that, is it possible then that it may be a barcode, in fact, that what we have?
I don't think it's a barcode. I know many years ago, maybe 15 years ago, Texas Instrument, I'm trying to say, started developing these systems, and they would implant the chips in cattle, and they would inventory and keep track of all their cattle by scanning.
Is this RFID grip?
Well, I guess you could call it that. Mm-hmm. It's just data. You hit it, and then it transmits back with the energy that you put into it. I mean, there's no batteries.
I took my dog to the veterinarian just 3 months ago, and they asked me if I wanted to put a chip in him. I mean, it's getting ridiculous.
Right.
Well, yeah. Now, in the case of the people, you will not be able to purchase anything. You will not have any money. You cannot pay rent or payments on anything, or buy food or clothing or gasoline or own anything if you do not agree to enter into this monetary system.
And in this case, Griff, let me just interrupt you for a second, because we were talking about this the other day, where we thought one of the prime reasons why they need to collapse the United States economy would be to bring in this debit-type system.
That's right.
Is that not right?
That's right. But I am almost of the opinion that they're not going to be able to pull it off. I hope they're not able to do it. But yes, I believe that the system is being collapsed all over the world, because it's not just one thing collapsing it. It's an intentional thing. They can turn it around. The whole monetary collapse can be corrected by one pencil. You don't have to alter anything. You don't have to truck anything. You don't have to exchange goods, nothing. You can save the world with one pencil, and you can turn it around in 30 seconds.
I just want to make one last comment. I'd just like to make one last comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee. By all means.
I just want to say, God bless you guys, and I'm so thankful for your radio station and your program. I mean, I know there's got to be hundreds, if not thousands, just like myself, who are listening, but just, it's not comfortable to call in, and that are just sitting there and they're thinking about it. And I would encourage them to call and just voice their opinion, because it's encouraging for folks like myself who hear from other people as well, that that someone else is listening. Well, to touch on what AC was saying is, for me as an American, and when I look at other Americans, it is going to take some major catastrophe for America to give up our our sovereignty and to just willingly go along with this one world government and this one world monetary system. And maybe that's what's coming in a matter of days or weeks, but I agree with Mr. Griffin on that. It's going to take something other than just choosing to say that, well, we all have to do this, to be able to maintain the current status quo. I think it's going to take maybe an EMP attack, or a biological attack, a war in the Middle East, or cyber, something huge to force people to make that choice. And I just want to say thank you all again for your program. Really enjoy it, and I'm going to hang up here and listen and say God bless you to all of you.
You got it, and God bless you too, Lee. Hey, John, you have something to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to address Lee's comment about being a Christian. Mm-hmm. Far be it from me to know what it is to be a Christian. I don't think most Americans know what it is to be a Christian. I mean, we kill thousands of babies every day in the name of eugenics and abortion. We have God taken out, not just a Christian God, but God, period, taken out of our schools. They want it taken out of our courts. Most schools don't say one nation under God. They skip that part in the Pledge of Allegiance. Most Americans today have no idea what it is to be a Christian, and in my belief, the word Christian means to be like Christ. Christ-like, a Christian. And when the people have no clue as to what they actually are, and they depend on someone to tell them what they are, now they're slaves. Now they're programmed. Now they're just mindless zombies walking around chanting Obama.
Well, John, that's why I think it's important. And I think a lot of people that have a firm grasp on what's going on, they don't really call themselves Christians. Again, because when you do that, you put yourself in a compromising position, meaning that you align yourself with certain people, and that's not the purpose. I'm a believer. I'm a follower, like Lee said, and that's exactly what I am. But I cannot call myself a Christian because what exactly is a Christian? I mean, it's that same thing, John, they say that they lost us.
I can still hear you.
I can still hear you.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, folks, if let me just put something in the chat room here. It looks like the stream has gone. Oh, everything says buffering, they said. I can say that it's this is the second time in a row, the second show, Griff, where this has happened, where I get on a good rant and then it buffers.
I was on Greg Everson's radio program today on Republic Radio, and I was dropped off the line. So yeah, it's a common occurrence. It's a badge that we're doing something right.
Yeah. No, I agree. Folks, at any time you can hear us. Just give me a little affirmative indication in the chat room, just so I know, because we hear each other talk, and that's all good. But the mark of the beast can take on any form, Griff. It's so hard because we speculate until the cows come home, and it's amazing. Hey, John, do me a favor because they don't have it. Can you get on Live Help and see what's going on?
Will do.
Thanks, man. All right. But anyway,
Joe, the Christian Bible and the references in there.
Yes.
I look at the situations that are occurring in this reality that we're in, and I draw my conclusions from there. And I periodically recall the references in the Christian Bible that talked about those situations, but I don't do it the other way. I don't look at the Christian Bible first and then look at the reality. You look at the reality first.
Right, and then
everything that I believe is not necessarily because I see it in the Bible, and I don't bend my my opinion, my